All right, we're going to draw the single view of the water bottle. The main focus here is reading the dimensions from the sheet, as well as making construction lines. There are a couple places we have to make guesstimations or generalizations, but we're trying to build it off the numbers and information given to us. So the first thing we're going to do is set up a new layer. And I'm going to assign it a color that differentiates. So I'm going magenta because it's lighter, shows up nice. Double click to make it current, or you can change it up here. We're going to start by drawing a line straight up 216 units. So there's our line right there. I'm going to turn my universal coordinate system off just so that it's easier to see. And I'm going to draw a line at the bottom, and this line is going to be 59.5 long, which is the width of the bottle. So by drawing it there, now all I have to do is move it. I'm going to move it from the midpoint to the bottom of the line so it's set up in a good spot. We're going to then offset this line 26 units, 26.5 units, sorry, from the very bottom up. And from that point, we're going to offset the very bottom line up 103 units. And then above that, 44 units. I'm going to draw another line at the top. This line at the top is going to be 24 units long, and then I'm going to do the same thing I did to the bottom. I'm going to move it from the midpoint to the center. And we're going to offset that, and we're going to offset it down 22.7 units from the very top. Now I'm going to draw a new line out from there, and this line is going to be 25.8. I'm going to erase the original line. It was just a place marker. I'm going to move this one from the center point over. We're going to offset out from the middle line. So the first offset out is going to be 28 each side. And then we're going to copy the center line to the endpoints. So that should allow us to start drawing the object. That's the general construction line setup. So we're going to switch back to our object layer. And I'm going to start by drawing from the 26.5 line straight down, across, and back up. So what that does is it establishes the bottom corner. We have a bit of a round here where it says there's a radius of 24. So I'm going to draw a circle, center radius just off to the side, that's 24. I'm going to move this from the quadrant, so I want to make sure my quadrant's set to the bottom. Then we're going to move it up. We move it straight up 16 units. So when that's in place, we can mirror it from one side to the other. And we can use trim and cutting edge. I'm going to use the two sides as a cutting edge. I'm going to use the two circles as a cutting edge. Oops. Let me do that again, trim, and I need the bottom as a cutting edge, obviously, because that didn't work too well. So these are all our cutting edges, and then we can get rid of this stuff we don't need. Even over here. And what it does is it forms the bottom of our bottle. So that's terrific. That's got that done. It's in a good spot. So it's a good start to our object. We're going to draw a line straight across here. And then we're going to go offset, and we're going to offset this 1.8 units from here up. And then we're going to offset 10.8 units from the original line up as well. So what we can do now is we can draw a line connecting the fatter connection. Oops. And we can also draw a line that connects the inside ripple of the bottle right here. So with that done, we can now use our copy command. We're going to go copy, and if I go this way and it's blue, it's easier to grab everything we need. I'm going to do it again. And just not get the bottom line. And then you can just move them up. There's 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. So at this last one, Oscar pointed this out. It's actually short here, so we're going to take a moment and fix it so Oscar doesn't cry too much. We'll move it from the top corner here to the top corner there, and then we'll just fillet the edges so that it's filleted at an angle of 0. We've got the basic part of the water bottle started. Now there's a thin section here, so we draw the inside line straight up. And that completes our thin section. We're going to go offset, and we're going to offset up 4 units. So this line here, it's sort of a guesstimation. So we draw that up. We're going to draw a line from this point down, straight across, and up. And then that allows us to come up to this point where the bottle sort of tapers. So there we go. Here's the neck of the one part. Then we just draw this line from here straight up, over, and down. So that gives us the basic of the water bottle. So now we can add some key points to it or some little details to it. For example, we can draw where the cap sort of screws down to. So then on the neck of the rim, we're just going to draw this line straight across. We're going to go offset of 2. We're going to go out 2 on each side and up 2. And when we fillet these, we get sort of an example of where our neck can be. Now, ours is actually a little higher than it's located right now, so we're going to move it by selecting it. We're going to move it up 2. So there we go. Now the edges of it, if you notice, are rounded on the drawing and they're not rounded here. So I'm going to go to 2-point circle and I'm going to go from bottom to top. Repeat on the other side, bottom to, oops. Sometimes when you right click, it goes to the diameter. So I'm going to double click 2-point. And we're going to trim off the stuff we don't need. And you can see we've added a little bit of detail to our bottle. So what I need us to do is go back and we can dimension this by just doing a dimension layer and adding on the key measurements. You're welcome to add any other key features, like up here on this part of the bottle, we have sort of an arc pattern. So what we can do to establish this well is I'm going to draw a line back, oops, not from the midpoint, just back straight across. I'm going to draw a line straight down the middle point here. It doesn't matter, we're going to go 33. I'm going to rotate from the top point here 15 degrees, and then I'm going to move it. And I want to go to the middle point here. So to find that middle point, I'm going to trim this side, and I'm going to move this line from the end point to the middle point. Then I'm going to mirror both these lines through a center point, and I'm going to go to arc, start and direction, and I can make my arc for the bottom. I can do the same for the top. And then what that allows us to do is to be able to draw the other arc on. So I'm going to go to arc again, start in direction. Going to go straight across here. I'm going to type in near so I can just sort of guesstimate where I think it goes. And then we can do the same for the top. And then use our mirror command again, this time through the middle point. And we can use trim to get rid of the unwanted lines at the top. And we've got a more detailed bottle. If you turn off your construction layer, it's quick and easy to see. You can add some fancy points with the screw top. And as I said, dimensions sure add a lot to the drawing. They demonstrate knowledge and understanding. So with the water bottle here, we can quickly turn it into a 3D by copying it to the side and then drawing a line from the very bottom straight up and trimming half of it. We can erase the other parts right here. Got to trim this one up here. I'm actually going to get rid of all these decorative parts because they won't be as important. And then we're going to trim straight up the inside of the bottle. We're going to erase the middle line. The top, you can adjust it so you can get different sizes. So I'm going to actually erase mine right now. We're going to switch it to 3D modeling. When we do, we're going to switch it to shades of gray so it's a little easier to see. And when we go to revolve, if this were a round bottle, which unfortunately it's not, we very quickly and easily can revolve it into a 3D bottle. This one's slightly different than the other 3D bottle shape we're going to draw, but try it. The revolve always works well.